Emerald rank is a piece of shit. We got inters, dudes sitting in base, dudes crying in chat. We have reached the peak of toxicity. That's cause Emerald rank is basically a mix of gold, plat, and diamond players. Not only that, but LP gains have just been atrocious.
17!
So even if you have a win rate over 50%, you will be falling down the ladder. You might as well give up and tilt off the face of the earth.
I'm gonna break my monitor, I swear!
My name's Retrad and I escaped Emerald with Riven, so if you want to get out of this Minecraft villager elo, then I've got the tips and tricks for you. Number 1 is objective mentality. Too many players are focused on trying to kill their opponent, and that's what's really holding them back. Focusing on killing rather than playing correctly is what gets you killed instead. If you focus more on the wave management and recall timings, you can gain leads that are much safer and less riskier than fighting all the time. If I were to coin flip a fight each time I got the chance, I would either win hard, but I could also get my ass beat and be useless the rest of the game. Do I want to coin flip every game? No, I want to be consistent and have consistent goals so I'm less volatile of a player. This is how you stop losing games from level 1. Sometimes getting a kill even loses you the lane. The enemy can just TP back if they have it, and if your wave is in a really bad position, you'll be forced to go in and die, or get pushed out of lane and lose a lot of CS. Remember, a 14 CS lead basically is the same as a solo kill. It's like 300 gold. If you fall behind even 14 CS, you basically just died. If you play correctly, then objectives will eventually lead to kills. Establish a real lead first, like item advantages or level up spikes. That gets you kills, which then give you items that allow you to take towers faster. Then with no towers, enemies can walk up and overextend, and that gives you pressure on the map, which leads to objectives on the other side of the map. See, it's all connected somehow. In this game, my Jhin got 16 kills, but I have more gold than him and I only have 6 kills. How is that possible? Is he ass? No, I'm just getting resources on the map that are just sitting there like towers. Most recently, towers got buffed to give like 1 billion gold now. So next time you feel like grouping with your team, try to see if you can get a better deal from split pushing. Basically, you'll never catch me helping my team. Ever. Number 2, don't make unnecessary plays. If you manage to get ahead in lane, people think you should just go full damage and start one-shotting their entire team. That's not true. When you're ahead, you need to play passive. The logic behind this is when you're ahead and you and your enemy laner are farming at the same pace, you get 1 wave and he gets 1 wave, that means you will remain ahead. The only way you ever fall behind is if you do something ridiculously dumb. If you play smart, then the enemy is forced to be in a risky position while you're perfectly safe. He's the one who's forced to outplay you. I know everyone wants to be the guy that goes in and 1v5 solos and makes montage plays. This is a super easy way to throw your lead like a headless chicken. Do not give away your shutdown for free so the enemy can come back. You need to go for objectives that are less risky, like side lane towers. In the side lane, the enemy has to go out of their way to come and kill you by sending multiple people. That's a lot of resources for them because you're Riven and you can just kill them or run away easily. This is a less risky way to expand your lead because you're either gonna get tower if they don't stop you or get kills because you're fighting on your terms. They're coming to you, you're not coming to them. So when you're ahead, you should play safe, and when you're behind, that's when you need to be aggressive. When you're behind, you have to be the one to die for your team. Make plays. Try to be a body for your win condition. If you play passive when you're behind, all that's gonna happen is you bleed out until your nexus explodes. You gotta contest objectives sometimes. If your enemy is gonna win anyway, you might as well be in the way and make it hard for them. Who knows, maybe they do something stupid and you guys actually win a fight. Number 3, play for power spikes and no enemy power spikes. Riven is known for having a strong level 1 with 3 Qs. You can gain wave control and get level 2 first. Remember, even in a counter matchup, if you get level 2 first, then the counter matchup is winnable. Level advantage is super valuable and it's super important that you know how to use it. Save your cooldowns when you're about to level up. That way you can go for a full trade with all of your abilities. Riven can be strong against champions with no combat ultimates. For example, Camille doesn't have a damaging ultimate. Riven beats her at level 6. Pantheon has a roaming ultimate. Riven ult shits on him. Learn how to use your items. Ravenous Hydra is a farming item, meaning Riven spikes at 2 items rather than 1. Without the sustain from Hydra and the armor pen and ability haste from Cleaver, you're not a complete champion yet. Champions who could build Divine Sunderer at first item can straight up destroy you. Even that Iceborne piece of shit gauntlet that casts a mini exhaust on you every 2 seconds, what are you, fucking Cassante?
No! No! No!
When enemies hit power spikes like this, where you can't fight them anymore, then you should play around it. With Hydra, you gotta get leads through farming more. Do this by pushing waves, proxying, and stealing jungle camps. With Hydra, you have huge wave clear that single target champions can't match. So yeah, it's important to know what you're strong in and to play towards it. As a top laner, you shouldn't look at the top lane as a 1v1 lane, but as a 2v2 lane.
How can play? How can play? Enemy jungle top side. Help me! I need help! Ah!
Number 4 is jungle tracking. Depending on the matchup, you should decide the plan for your laning phase and ultimately decide what you want to do with a wave. For example, if a jungler started bot side, then you know they're going to path up to top side. So if you know your jungler will be top by the end of their clear, then you should manage your first 4 waves accordingly. If you have a strong early game jungler like Jarvan number 4, and you have a favorable matchup where you can gain prio, then you should try to get a 3rd or 4th wave crash to set up a dive. But you gotta be careful of the enemy jungler too. This is why you track the enemy jungler's position. Put a ward down in their top side if you can. Put the ward down as soon as possible. It doesn't matter when you put it, just as long as you know where the enemy jungle is starting. You can also tell where they started if your enemy laner comes in late and his bot lane never leashed. That's how you know the enemy jungler started top. Reading jungle clears is pretty simple. If you're against a Karthus for example, you know they want to full clear and end up on the opposite side of where they started. But if you're against the early game jungler like Lee Sin or Jarvan number 4, then they like to do 3 or 4 camps and gank by around 230. Then you should try to either let the wave push in so you avoid the gank, or you should push the first 2 waves in so it slow pushes back to you. You'll never have to walk up and you've avoided the gank. That's why it's so important to know where the enemy jungle is starting. You know what kind of pathing a jungler did by looking at their CS. Each jungle camp counts as 4, so if they gank top with 24 CS and double buffs, you know they did a full clear. However, if you see them with 12 CS and only have a red buff ganking mid, then you know they did their top side and they're gonna go clear bot side. You don't have to worry about them coming top side. You got all that? Number 5. Keep playing. If you really want that rank, you know you won't give up no matter how big of a losing streak you get. I've had losing streaks that go 20 non-stop. The game is designed so you play for a long time. Don't be discouraged that you're not gaining a lot of LP. That's because when you're climbing, the game thinks you're at a rank that you shouldn't be in. The more games you play in that rank, the more the game will think that you deserve that rank, and your LP games should return. This is why looking at numbers like win rates and LP are so useless, because they don't actually show you anything. Just because someone has 80% win rate in bronze because they're on a smurf doesn't mean they'll have 80% win rate in their actual rank. In other words, don't worry about useless numbers like LP. If you're consistently doing good, eventually you're gonna make progress. So yeah boys, Emerald is the funniest rank in all of League of Legends. You should be able to climb now with those crazy Riven buffs. It's a good thing the season ends in January now, am I right guys? Huh? Am I right? Come on. Come on. Oh yeah, oh. Yeah, you look. This guy can't believe his own eyes. That's the fundamentals, baby.
Yo,
You over here, bro.
oh my
He's
god.
gonna run us down.
He's coming. I do nothing to him.
We're gonna have to turn and fight. I can't get him off you, bro.
Dude, get him off of me.
Yeah, I can't get him off. I can't get him off. Dude.
How can play, motherfucker? Help me, please! I can't play, bro! I need help!